Good evening, Namaste, Salamat Sore. Welcome to Manthan with Saraswati, a captivating platform for enriching talks and podcasts. On Manthan with Saraswati, we have had privilege of featuring distinguished doctors, educators, administrators, motivators, edupreneurs, talented artists, well-read friends, and even my own students who are excelling in their lives. Each of these guests have shared invaluable insights from their life journeys and provided guidance for young minds, contributing to a broader perspective and deeper understanding of the world. I am Saraswati and I'm thrilled to announce you to our new series, Femi Pranav Fiesta, a vibrant chapter in our Celebrating Women in Business series here on Manthan with Saraswati. Whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur or simply someone who loves or who values stories of courage and growth, today's conversation promises both inspiring and practical insights. So, let's dive into the world of women entrepreneurs and hear directly from these incredible leaders paving the way forward.
Going through a lot of things, but they don't want to mention it. It's so taboo. I'm applying for myself first.
Yeah.
So this is like a win-win situation, and it's their crap.
It's their crap.
Yeah.
And we are not supposed to get into their crap.
Yeah.
Very good.
I would lose my authenticity.
Right.
I would lose how I want to actually do. The reason why it affects you the most is because you kind of secretly believe in that judgment.
Today on Manthan with Saraswati, we have a young, dynamic, enthusiastic Divyha Bhojwani. She believes in simply caring for me essentially impacts we. It's called the Zen Monk. She's established it in 2020. Let's have a conversation with Divyha Bhojwani. Hello Divya and
Hi.
welcome to Manthan with Saraswati.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure having you on board with us
Likewise.
for a small little conversation, which I'm sure is going to be rocking and giving happiness to people who are going to watch us.
Thank
So,
you.
I've said that you are the Zen monk.
Mhm.
Would you like to add something more about it, please?
Sure. First and foremost, thank you for having me here. The Zen Monk is a COVID baby that was born in 2020, and that was basically not even it started off as a passion project, but basically I struggled with high functioning anxiety. Basically, I was killing it in work. I was earning really well. I was hitting my goals. I felt like I was achieving whatever I needed to achieve. And yet I was experiencing burnout, extreme worries. I was just fearful about different things, didn't feel fulfilled. And that's when I realized that as much as you wanted to achieve whatever you need to achieve in life, you think that that's what's going to make you happy, and actually it isn't.
Yeah.
So I went through my own self-discovery phase during 2020. I went on crazy research. I applied whatever I needed to apply. And then it came to the fact that if you want to improve your life, if you want to change something in your life, you need to change yourself first. It starts with your thoughts, your feelings, your actions. And that's how you change the results. You are not supposed to change things outside of you. It's not your parents. It's not your partner. It's not your job. It's not any of that. When you change yourself, everything around you changes as well.
Very nice. That's so wonderful. You have put up the Zen monk.
Yeah.
But I also know that your mission is to help people feel good about themselves in life. And no matter what the circumstance, the inner peace is very important.
Yes.
I want to tell the viewers that I'm so proud to have Divyha Bhojwani, not just as a guest on my talk show, but also that we have a relation traced from her school days. So she literally, I'm the teacher and she was the student. We all know that success goes beyond the financial goals.
Absolutely.
And it's a feeling of fulfillment, right? So in this rat race world, when people are aspiring to be at the top, how did you end up become an entrepreneur to spread happiness?
Thank you. So what happened was when I was going through my own self-discovery phase, I realized there was not enough information out there. There was not enough support out there, especially in a place like Indonesia. And that's when I realized that I wanted to be that support so that people will feel less ashamed and alone in their struggles. I believe that a lot of people are actually going through a lot of things, but they don't want to mention it. It's so taboo. It's still very hard for you to even admit that, you can seek professional help. That's still also taboo. So all of those things made me feel and realize that this is worth it. This is worth to be that person, because as much as this is good for my clients, it's also good for me. Whatever that I'm working with my clients, whatever that I'm pursuing with them, whatever that I'm doing with the Zen Monk, I'm applying for myself first. So this is like a win-win situation. And so I realized that if I was working under someone, or if I was doing this with someone else, it would have been very different, because I would lose my authenticity. I would lose how I want to actually do my business my way, which is a big deal. And how will I connect with each of my clients? All of that was very different. So I knew I had to do this on my own. I had to carry this flag first. And so I jumped into the entrepreneurship world, and I believe that success is not only financial success. Everybody is only chasing financial success or professional success, but success actually has a lot of factors, which includes health, relationship success, or social success, spiritual success.
Very true.
There are many successes there. So that's the reason why you see a lot of like rich people, CEOs, they're up there, but they're not actually happy and fulfilled. And so this is what I wanted to basically change.
Very true. Entrepreneurship is about leading others, right? So my next question to you would be like, running a company, self-leadership is very essential.
Absolutely.
Do you agree to that?
Absolutely.
Okay. So now how did you prepare yourself to lead effectively?
Absolutely. I am a big believer that if you want, again, whatever changes you want outside of you, it has to start with you. So you need to know how to lead yourself first before you lead other people. That's because you're going to go through your own fair share of emotional situations. You have your beliefs. You have a lot of things that could project to your team, that could project how you run your company. For example, I had like an issue with one of my team member who was not available when I wanted her to be available, and I could feel my ego bubbling up, like I'm the boss, like how can she not be there for me and everything. And I took a step back and I realized that this is coming from a place that needs to be addressed, and I realized that's me just seeking validation. There's a way for me to approach her, because I realized that it was also on me that I didn't tell her these are my expectations. So how can I blame her for not being able to be available when I was not the one who was clear? So when I needed to realize that this emotion that was coming out, this trigger, is supposed to teach me something. So how you lead yourself is how you look at your triggers. Look at what angers you, what is keeping you off your balance and peace. It's not them. It's how you look at things. It's how you perceive situations. That's how you have to change your approach to things. So I had to take a step back, look at it from a different perspective, remove my ego, and be able to approach her differently and be like, these are the expectations. I understood her POV, she understood mine, and now things are smooth. But back then, it'd be like, I'm the boss, how can you not be available? Without understanding why you're triggered that way. So when you understand yourself, understand your mindset, your feelings, your beliefs, you don't project these things onto other people, your staff, your work. And that's why you have to lead yourself first by hook or by crook. Understand yourself first, then you can understand what's going on out there.
And most of us struggle with this kind of an ego, that, oh my, how dare that this person says this.
We're reactive first.
We are reactive first. So very well said, Divyha. But because you're spreading happiness, what are the three points would like to share with the viewers to hit success? Just keep it to the points. You don't have to elaborate on that. Just the key points.
First and foremost, you have to believe in what you're doing and in yourself more than anything in the world, because nobody else would the way you would. Number two, you cannot control life. You can only control how you respond to it. You control how you think, how you feel, and how you act and respond based on what's going on in your life. So stop trying to change things outside of you. Start changing things within you, and things outside of you will change. And the third thing is patience. Have patience, because everything with growth is like discomfort is part of the process, patience is part of the process, because when you're able to really build that foundation and you care about yourself and the thing that you do so much, you end up realizing that your intention and the reward is far more greater than just finances, and that's what's going to keep on getting you motivated.
Wow. Divya, that was like listening to a spiritual leader, and coming from such a young entrepreneur is amazing. And I hope the followers or the listeners would try to follow these three things. Learning comes from young female entrepreneurs too. Aspiring entrepreneurs often fear failure or worry about public perception,
Oh my
right?
God, yes.
And what advice would you give to the women who are hesitant to start their own business due to these fears? What is your suggestion to them?
So, fear of judgment is one of the biggest things I feel our community goes through, because it is what it is. At the end of the day, it's like you were raised to believe that public perception is basically a reflection of your self-worth. So, two things we need to remember. The reason why people judge is because, number one, there's something that they kind of want from you, but they don't want to admit it, so they have to validate themselves. Then they put you down for something they actually want. The second thing is because maybe they really don't want that thing, but they still need to validate themselves because they feel like you doing something different is a threat to their way of life. So remember that when you feel judged, because it's not about you, it's actually all about them. Because people judge based on their beliefs, based on their worldviews, and how they feel life should be. So it, again, isn't about you. But the reason why it affects you the most is because you kind of secretly believe in that judgment. So if people feel like as if you're not smart enough, in a way you kind of feel like maybe I'm not smart enough. You're not worthy to be there. You're not deserving to be there. Maybe I am not worthy or deserving to be here. So when you start believing these things about yourself, that you can't make it, or that you're not smart enough to do it, that this is impossible to do, all of these things are as true as you make it. So if you believe these things, then you're not going to start these things. If you believe in the judgment of others, because you kind of believe that about yourself. So you need to push through all of these beliefs that you have technically for yourself in order for you to be able to get started on whatever you want to do, or just do whatever you want to do.
Okay. The idea behind not to be judged is that you need to be strong within yourself.
Absolutely.
Not to take in any kind of crap the other throw at you.
Absolutely.
And I think if you have dreams to achieve something very big in your life, don't get into the judgment world of what others are trying to judge you on what. So stay away from the judgment of others. Stay strong, ladies, and hear what Divya has just said.
It's your belief.
It's your belief, and you fly with the wings, with your own wings, and you will find the strength to reach the sky.
Absolutely. You don't need anyone's validation but yours.
Yeah, you don't need anyone's validation but your own, right? Okay. To grow, we definitely need somebody to mentor us. You would have been mentored by somebody in your life. So the question is, how does the mentorship or the networking play in your professional growth? And it would be very nice if you could share an example or two.
Absolutely, absolutely. We all go through self-doubt. We all go through in such a way that we feel blocked, you know. Having someone else give you a different perspective in life is one of the most valuable thing that you can have. And because of that different perspective, you have a different approach. Because of that different approach, you take a different action, and then you have different results. For example, during this whole starting up the Zen Monk, of course you go through ups and downs. There are days when it's like you hit your goals. Sometimes you don't hit your financial needs. Sometimes you feel like, oh, why is there a lack of responses? All of that stuff brings you down. So when you have like a coach or a mentor there, oh my God, the way that you get lifted up, the way that you actually have such a different way of doing things, you start opening up your mind in some different levels that you've never even explored, because how much can you do for yourself, how much can your friends and family also support you, because there is that biasness. When you work with a mentorship, it's unbiased. They think about you and only you, making sure that you are growing. So they help you in that perspective. For example, my mentor had told me when I was feeling really down at some point with my work, my mentor told me one thing. She was like, it's like you have the cure of cancer, but you're sitting down and not saying anything out of fear of how people would think about it, or if you feel like as if, you know, people might not respond to it, people don't want it. But not everybody understands that cure of cancer, but that still means that you're sitting down when you can help other people instead of being loud and proud and caring about how people perceive it, rather than you being like, hey, I have this thing that can help you. Come to me if you need it, if you want it, not the other way around. So that was drilled in my mind, and because of that, I keep reminding myself, I have something, I want to help, I want to continue, I don't care about what other people think, I care about how I think about it. Just that like line was able to push. Networking was another whole scenario. Look at how we got reconnected.
Exactly.
Because of a common friend, basically, who also I reconnected after years, like almost 2 decades. And connection, like networking is how you open doors that you didn't even realize was ever there. So it's super important to actually have people that supports you, are in your corner, that is away from your friends and family. And so you're able to also, it's amazing to find support in people who's been through what you've been through and who's overcome. That's why you should have mentorship and coaches, because at least you have that support that not everyone else understands. Not your family, not your friends.
I truly agree in your words. Young, but you're speaking so beautifully on mentorship and networking. Very true. And that's how you got connected to me, Divya. So it's the school relationship, which was almost ended. Sachin Gopalan just connected us. And it's brilliant.
And he had reconnected also like 15 years later.
See, so this was in a chain, and this is how networking works. Very nice. And what you said really touched my heart more is that you don't do it for others. You do it for yourself. You love doing it, and that is how Manthan with Saraswati is also doing it. And today we are here in Ganesha Ek Sanskriti in Kamaran, chatting about connecting, how network works and everything. So it's such a beautiful thing. Talking about the growth of an entrepreneur. People get so busy in their life. They don't think about the rest time. What is the important aspect of life is to relax and have some time to maintain your positive aura and to stay resilient and go on with your life and go on with your work, right? But people seldom balance these two, like work, rest and play. These are very important aspects of an entrepreneur too. So how do you think your Zen monk will give some strategy to the listeners to overcome their hardship and focus on their entrepreneurial journey?
So firstly, like, we have to keep in mind the different forms of successes, because you can definitely move on financial success, you can hit those goals and achieve whatever you achieve, but still feel very unfulfilled because you've not balanced these things in your life as well. So ultimately, you have to be clear on your values here. What is important? What are your priorities that are important? Family as well, health as well, friends, of course. Like, different things in your life are just as important because they all nurture you. But we have only focused on the fact that we think being able to have money in the bank and achieving these type of like titles or whatever is enough to nurture us. And then it becomes too late to realize, because then your relationships gets, messed up, your health gets messed up, all these things get messed up. So it's pulling back and realizing that there are so many other things that are way more valuable in your life. And then my biggest thing is that organize, plan everything in advance. Make sure that I do weekly plans where work, rest and play are all there. And I flow with it, which means that, for example, if I have like 9 to 12 is my work time, as much as I leave it as my work time, sometimes something can happen. Some emergency, suddenly I need to go there and everything. You got to just flow with those things. Don't be too rigid. Don't be too controlling and making sure that every outcome needs to be a certain way, because that's impossible. Control is an illusion, by the way. I can go on and talk about all of that, but how much you do and the outcome that comes is not going to be always the same way. So you need to make sure that you are as nourished first in all aspects of your life, because rest is one of the most productive thing that you can do. Play is how you get your creativity out there, and then work is how you feel fulfilled. Everything is just as important, because when you feel good, when you feel nourished, you're able to operate and function even better. You get better results without feeling attached to the outcome, and you feel fulfilled.
Yeah.
So that's what's important, I guess. Making sure your values and your priorities are straight, and making sure that all of your areas are as nurtured, and then you actually feel good about it. You end up getting different forms of successes.
Yeah.
So yes, you can actually get financial success and, achieve all of these things. But if you notice, that's why there's that never-ending chase.
Yeah.
So being able to put work, rest, and play, because you want to get time freedom. You want to have freedom of choice. You don't only want money.
Right.
You don't only want a title.
Yeah.
So when you realize that, and then you fix your values and be able to organize and plan everything in such a way that you have your family, your friends, your values, your priorities all taken care of, that's how you feel fulfilled.
I think it's an absolute piece of advice from a young entrepreneur. That word which you said, nurturing, gives a lot of meaning. And I think the young entrepreneurs who are listening to it, who are into the way of making themselves into getting up to the top of the ladder, and not having a balance of the work, play, and what is the other one? Health. Yeah?
Work, rest, and play.
Work, rest, and play, who are not able to balance these three key aspects of life, then there is no point in achieving all of that. Yeah. So money comes and money goes. But then these three things are so important.
Yeah. You feel grounded, you feel fulfilled no matter what, no matter the circumstances.
Very true. Divyha, I'm so, overwhelmed, by what you are discussing on Manthan with Saraswati. My last question, what impact do you think your business will have, not just on the industry, but on the community as a whole?
Okay. So that's a great question. And I believe a better me means a better world. Because when I'm happier, I make you happier. When I feel fulfilled, I make you feel fulfilled.
Very true.
It's as simple as that. So it starts with obviously an individual basis, that you feel good, because then you want to make other people feel good. You want to help out from your heart, not because of people pleasing, trying to be good for no reason. You're genuinely kind because you feel happy and grounded and fulfilled in your own life. So my goal is one person at a time, one change at a time. Just one person has so much can create a ripple effect in everybody's life. So if you are feeling good, you make others feel good. Simple as that. That's how I hope to impact the community, one person at a time, making sure that they feel as good about themselves and their lives.
Very true. I'm so inspired, because I think that's my motto too.
Wow.
If I'm happy, I want to spread happiness.
Yes.
And today I'm so happy that Divyha Bhojwani is sitting here with me and reaffirming my own thoughts. And thank you, the Zen Monk, for being on my show and giving such amazing thoughts which seldom comes from the youngsters. Okay, now moving on to some very short questions. Divyha, are you ready for it?
Yes. Okay,
It's a kind of a few questions to Divyha to see what she says. It's going to be a one-liner.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So let's hit it. Divyha, if your business had a mascot,
Okay.
what would it be and why would it be?
Interesting.
You want me to give a choice?
Okay.
Okay, the choice would be a sloth or a cheetah.
Oh, that's like two poles.
Different, 2 poles apart.
But I would be leaning definitely more towards the sloth. I
okay,
take my time.
yeah,
I like to pace myself, be steady, because sometimes, just like being on a rush and everything like
Yeah.
makes me anxious. So slow and
The aggression also is not great all the time, right?
Yeah, so just slow and steady. Sometimes, I get
Yeah,
too slow.
I think you do that. Yeah, I agree. I totally. So, if I have to ask you, what is the most creative excuse you have given to avoid going to a meeting or attending a meeting?
Creative.
Yeah, see, you can say so many things. What would your creative excuse be?
Honestly, I loved it during the time it was COVID because every time you say I'm having a little bit of flu, everybody freaks out and you're like,
Okay, stay away.
that would be
But now, yeah.
now it would be traffic. It's not creative, but it
No,
gets
yeah,
away with a lot of
okay,
things.
yeah.
Family issue. It's not creative. It's the usual.
Okay, fine.
I should
Okay,
come up with
I give
creative
it to you.
stuff.
Okay. So if your startup,
Mm.
the Zen Monk,
Mm.
okay, if it were to be a movie,
Oh,
okay, if it were to be a movie,
Mm-hmm.
what kind of a movie do you think it would be? It would be a drama, or it would be a thriller, or it would be a comedy?
It would be a mashup of drama comedy if that's going to be a new
A new genre?
Yeah, it'll be a drama comedy because some of the drama that I go through is very laughable. It's
Mhm.
like not in a funny way, but at the same
But
time
yeah.
I make sure it's funny. Like I think
It's a comedy.
humor is super important in the way that you lead life because
Yeah.
there's so many things in your life that
Right.
does not make sense.
Okay.
But so I'm like, yeah, drama and comedy because there's genuine comedy,
Comedy.
and there's just a lot of drama
Mhm.
that I
That
make
happens to.
that happens as well that I
Okay.
make laughable.
I got it. You know, sometimes when you're in the business, you get advice by so many people.
Mm.
Sometimes you feel, oh my God, this person has given me such a weird advice, but you have followed and it worked. Was it anything like that?
Yeah. Okay, one of the weirdest advice is actually from one of my coaches and mentor. I was feeling very stuck in my work, and then
Okay.
she just said, sit down and talk to the spirit of your business
Ah.
and ask, what should I do next? And I
Okay.
was like, what? She was like, just do it. Like, trust me, sit down. And then imagine your Zen Monk is a different entity and you're chatting and you're like, and I was just like, you know what? I don't really lose anything. I sat down and I did that, and legit, I immediately thought about the new workshop that I had to do. Like,
Whoa.
do this instead and everything. And that was a successful workshop. So since then, I've asked the spirit of the Zen Monk, what should I do? Where am I stuck? What's going on? Like, you tell me, like, because she's just like, everything that you do has energy. So speak to that energy. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Now I'm going to talk to Manthan with Saraswati, spirit today,
Yes.
and figure out what I'm really doing is right or what should I
Yes,
do.
yes. In a way, it's like your own answers, right? So it's just, it helps you unblock. So I love it.
Okay, my last question to you. If you were to dream of someone whom you could intern, who is that? Or you want that person to intern with you? I mean, either thing which one.
Does it have to be someone famous?
I mean, it's touching your true conscience and asking your spiritual, the spirit of your Zen
My
monk.
Zen monk. It'll be so awkward to intern someone way older than me.
Yeah.
But I would love to, work with someone like Ellen or Oprah
Oh.
and hear how they managed to be where they are, because they also came from adversity. They also came from parts of them didn't believe. They'd love to hear from their POV and help them, have them help me push that doubt. It would be nice to work with people like that.
Okay. Say that we are striking one more point at oneness, because like you said, Oprah. I love Oprah Winfrey. A person whom you can listen to all the time. Right?
That's amazing.
You'll never
to
get
have
bored
that
of her.
gift,
You'll never
right?
get bored of her.
To be able to get people to listen to you, talk to people, just out of conversations, you're changing lives. So I love that idea, and I just want to meet people who've done that.
Even, I would also like to, intern with her.
Right? We should.
Definitely. We should go together. Oh, me teacher and she's student.
We should turn and be like the Oprah.
In Hindi we say, Guru Sishya ki jodi,
Yes.
So we go to Oprah and say, oh, let's intern together.
Yes.
Very good. What's the business mantra you swear by?
Everything I say or do is valuable, and it creates an impact.
Everything you say
or do
is
valuable, and it creates an impact.
Wow.
So that lets go of the pressure of having to do more or less, as long as it just makes a little bit of a
impact.
Change or an impact, you're winning. You're good.
Absolutely.
Keep doing that.
And I think, again, this is one more point. We strike at one
Alignment.
is that yes, this is also an effort to create little impact with you, and I really wish, may God give you all the strength to achieve whatever your dream is. Spreading happiness is the most important thing in life, and your Zen Monk, I think, Divyha Bhojwani, you're doing a wonderful job with it, and I'm very proud and I'm very happy to reconnect with you and have you with me on Manthan with Saraswati. Thank you very much.
Likewise.
Dear.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of Femipreneur Fiesta. We are closing now, and we will come back to you with another encouraging, young, enthusiastic entrepreneur in my next episode. Till then, it's bye from Saraswati and bye from Divyha Bhojwani.
Thank
And again,
you.
let me take this opportunity to thank Mitali Rastogi for shooting this
recording the
podcast
podcast.
for us.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
See you in.
Thank you so much.